Well, welcome everybody to Marketing Matters. This is our weekly marketing series brought to you by Landmark Title. We bring the best people in the business here to talk about different marketing strategies. And one of our newest additions is our Top Producer Edition, because who is better to talk about real world marketing than top producing real estate agents here in Arizona? And today we are joined with the top producer, Lisa Westcott with Silver Leaf Realty. Lisa is one of the premier luxury agents here in the Phoenix area. She does some of the biggest, if not the biggest, deal in Arizona. So to have her on today, it is really, truly, Lisa, it is a privilege to have you on to go over just some of the particulars. And we are going to do a question and answer series today. Lisa and I talked about it. I said, Lisa, what do you want to do? She's like, I love question and answer panels. So I said, I do too. So that is what we are doing today with Lisa. And like I said, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat or question and answer. But with that, we're going to get rolling. So we've got our luxury real estate market question and answer period. So Lisa, our first question, some of these were actually submitted too, which was great. What do you feel is the main reason for your success?
Oh my gosh, there's lots of, well, first and foremost, thank you, Sarah, for having me. I'm honored to be here and talking and chosen to be one of your interviewees, I guess you call it. Real estate is, as many people know, and if you don't know, you'll find out soon enough, that it's not as easy as a lot of people think it is. And you just have to, I learned a long time ago not to take anything personally, because that holds you down. If you're doing the best that you can, then that's what you hold on to. And if somebody wants to be negative to you or upset you, that's really not, if you're doing the best you can, that's really not your issue, it's theirs. And so having said that, my business, one of the main reasons is just taking care of my clients and the process and helping them each step of the way, because that's how you build your rapport with them. That's how you build your relationship with them. And real estate, in my professional opinion, for me personally, it's all about relationships.
Yes, and you do an excellent job of building and maintaining those relationships. Mm-hmm. All right, this is a big one. How do you farm a luxury neighborhood? As in, how do you even get your foot in the door in some of these communities? Because it's not like regular door knocking.
No, that's a very broad question, in that I don't farm. I don't think I ever have farmed. I took one client, turned that into referrals, and grew my business or my farm that way. Who's getting into the business or getting into the luxury spectrum, I would say reach out to the people that you know and let them know that you're knowledgeable and that you grind every day. You take pride in what you do. It's a business. It's not a wake up when you feel like it and maybe sell something once or twice a year. And it's an everyday thing. It's not an 8 to 5 either. And so people want to know that you're working for them, not just to go after that percentage, whether it's 3%, 4%, 2%, whatever it is. You just have to make sure that you're taking care of them, because in the luxury market, those clients are very, not that in any price point, act as if whoever you're representing is even more sophisticated than you. So learn from them, and whatever they're doing, learn the good or the bad, what to do, what not to do. And eventually you start building that reputation and you start building that rapport with people, and then they end up referring you to people. They end up, again, it goes back to the whole relationship part of it.
All right. What are your top 3 worries with liability in this price range?
Oh gosh. That's a really good question.
The people
You
want to
know,
know.
yeah, and you know, real estate's always changing. So again, you've got to be on top of your game. You've got to be aware of what the changes are in the contract, what your time frames are. Um, my probably one of my biggest fears is missing a time frame, which I don't, knock on wood, I haven't done. Um, I've seen it happen, and if you're working with someone who's not so nice and not so willing to work with you on it, you can put your clients in a very risky position. So I would say timelines are incredibly important. Um, Making sure that your clients understand the contract and that you give them realistic expectations. It's, my business coach said to me one day, she said, it's better to, how'd she say it? Giving realistic expectations, meaning let your client know what to expect and plan for the worst, because anything can happen. You don't know what the personality is on the other side. It could be the other realtor, the seller, or the buyer, or the HOA inspector, whoever it is. You just always have to make sure that you're walking a fine line the entire time. So those are two. What's my third? Intention. You know, one of my, and it's not liability, it's, we live in a world where unfortunately people, quite a few people like to point the finger instead of taking responsibility for their own actions. And so making sure that people know what your intention is, that's, and the intention should always be that you're taking care of your client and representing the best you possibly can. And if you don't have the answer, don't pretend like you do. Tell them you don't, and go get it from somebody who does have the answer. So it's in a roundabout way, it's all about expectations. Make sure that they have the right expectations.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect answer to wrap all of that liability in there. Is just like in any real estate deal, set and manage the expectations. When you're in a luxury market, sometimes those expectations are just a little bit higher. So you have to just really, really hone in on that. But you know, like you said, if you just set them out in the very beginning, then you're going to do a really good job of being able to manage them.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Next one. This is a good one too. Is the inspection the same as for luxury houses as they are for houses at a lower price point?
You know, absolutely. It doesn't matter if it's a $50,000 one bedroom studio or a $24 million. Still, whatever price point you're in, that's important to a buyer. And so the inspection process, you know, I always tell people it's not just an inspection, it's a due diligence period. If you want to find out about the neighborhood, or you want to talk to the neighbors, or you want to talk to the HOA, or you want to do any kind of research, that is your time. And, you know, because this is where they're going to most likely, unless it's an investment, this is where they're going to be living. So you want to make sure that your surroundings are good. You want to make sure that you're buying a house that feels good to you. So yeah, yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. Except for, you know, sometimes you're getting inspections on like the tennis court and the indoor racquetball and the elevator and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. That's true.
But I'm sure that the inspectors in that price point, it's normal for them, right?
You know, it's, so I have found too that within, and everybody else I'm sure has as well, inspectors, they're held to a whole nother standard, especially because of what happened in 08, 09, just like lenders are, just like realtors are. And so I have found that you can have a general inspection, but if you have a tennis court or a sport court or an elevator or whatever it is, don't just rely on the general inspector. Have experts come in if that's a concern of your client. Have an expert roofing company come in. Have a maintenance, a sport court maintenance person come in. Somebody who knows that specific area, so that they can really dive in.
That's really good advice. I didn't even know that those people existed.
Oh yeah.
So those of you that are looking to get into the luxury market, you're going to want to, build your referrals based on the type of, industry that you're in. So that's really great advice, Lisa. So are all luxury buyers extremely picky about cosmetics because they're spending a lot of money, right? So what's their level?
What I have found, especially in 2020 and 2021 so far, is that luxury buyers want what they want. And that could mean it's more about the property, the estate itself. Then they can make the interior selections and the cosmetics, what they want. But having said that, a lot of luxury buyers don't want to be bothered with that. They want to just move in and not have to worry about it. So, it's interesting. Arizona or Scottsdale and Paradise Valley was very big into the Tuscan style back in, the early 2000s. And that's kind of went away over the last few years. It's actually not so bad anymore. People from California and people from other markets, I'm finding, don't mind that at all. If the quality is there, they can change things around. They can make it more transitional, but they want the quality. They don't just want lipstick.
Yeah, that's a really, really good point, because like I said, they are spending a considerable amount of money, and having a house, just like, for any other buyer, a house with good bones is going to really be the biggest thing.
Yeah.
All right. Are there commercial luxury agents? And I think this question is referring to like luxury apartment complexes or luxury multi-doors.
That's a good question. I don't have the answer to that. I mean, if it's a luxury apartment building, then typically they have their leasing agents. Commercial, urban lifestyle. I mean, anybody who sells real estate, residential real estate, can sell that as well. So I'm sure that there's a handful of urban lifestyle luxury agents that's what they tend to focus on. I wouldn't say that I know specifically any of them. So I don't know the answer to that question. Sorry.
I like that term though, urban lifestyle agents. And I wonder, I think as our price points do continue to rise here in Phoenix, and we do, we continue to get people from large cities, I think particularly about people from like San Francisco, people who are used to living in very communal type environments. I wonder, will we see a rise in that kind of, urban luxury communal living? Because I think a lot of people think, when they think multi-doors, they think that's more low income. And then we've got, luxury penthouse apartments. But I'm wondering if, this is going to kind of develop more into something as we kind of broaden the amount of people and where they're coming from here.
I think that there will be. I think that with COVID, I'm sure a lot of you have heard the term that space is the new luxury. So people wanted their single family homes to have, because they're home or homeschooling or whatever they're doing. As a matter of fact, I had 2 clients this year, or actually towards the end of last year, that were from an urban, one's from Miami, one from Chicago, and they had never had a single family home. They always lived in high rises. So one of them bought a home in Desert Mountain, and it was kind of close to the main road. And so I said, does the road bother you at all? Because, we're used to people saying, no, 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 that backs to a road. That's resale's going to be terrible. And they said, no, we actually like that. It kind of gives us a feeling of life. Coming from a high-rise condo with the urban and the sirens going off all the time, and they can hear the activity in that. So they didn't mind the road at all, but they had their space. They had their.
Yeah, I bet that was very exciting for them.
Yeah.
Nice. So Lisa, do you prefer to work alone or with a team, and why?
Ooh, you're going to get to know me really well. I love teams. If each person works individually, I'm a bit of a control freak, and I'm a bit of a for my own personal purposes, grinder. So if I'm on a team and I see somebody slack me off, it irritates me. I mean, if I'm getting up and I'm working hard and I'm going after it, and then somebody else is on the team and they're not doing anything, but yet they get to reap the benefits, I'm not a huge fan of that. I do have a small team and I work in a larger team, and everybody has the same mindset. So, probably 10 years ago, I thought, that I should create this team and that everybody would do the things the way I wanted them to. Yeah, that didn't work very well. And so I just said, because, real estate, like I said in the very beginning, and I'm an open book, I'm very honest. I wear my heart on my sleeve. There's nothing that you wouldn't know about me, but real estate is not, I get so frustrated when people go, well, I want to get into real estate, and I want to get into luxury, and I want to do this. And it's interesting that they want to get in when the market's so hot. So I always ask, why now? Is it because you have a passion for it, or is it because you think that it's a quick, easy commission? Because it's not. And there's a lot of legalities that go along with it. There's a lot of ups and downs and emotions. You're dealing with the buyer, the buyer's spouse, the seller's spouse, the seller's children, the grandparents, whoever. You've got all kinds of people. You're driving a pretty big ship, and it's a pretty big responsibility. And so, yeah, sorry, that was a long answer.
Well, I think I know that's a great answer, because you put a lot of dimension into the answer. And it's, sometimes a team is where you need to be, and sometimes it's not. But if you want to have kind of, that partnership and camaraderie, like you said, right off the bat, it's important to find the kind of people that you really want to work with.
Yeah.
Not just be on a team because somebody said you need to be on a team, or
Exactly.
not just be on
like-minded.
Yes. Or not just be on a team because you got recruited by the team leader. Looking at the overall picture of it is very important. And making sure that all aligns with your business plan and how you want to run your business, because at the end of the day, you are a 1099. You are an entrepreneur. It's your business. You're responsible. The team is not necessarily, you have a team leader, but you are still responsible for yourself.
Yeah.
All right. This is one of my favorites. Why is Landmark Title your go-to company for your luxury escrows?
Again, it comes back to relationships. I'm a very loyal person. And when you find that industry partner, whether it's a lender or an escrow officer or an inspector, whoever it is that you feel comfortable and confident with, it's going to represent you well. That's why I'm with Landmark Title. It's a not all states are title and escrow states. Some are attorney states, and we have a lot of people that come from the attorney states, and so it's very confusing to them. And I have found, just with the knowledge and, that with Landmark and the escrow officer that I prefer to use. I don't know if I'm allowed to use her name or not, but Noreen.
Absolutely.
Noreen. And I won't tell you how I pronounce her last name, but she knows how I can remember it.
I call her Noreen K.
Well, I call her Noreen Kenny Chesney because that's how it looks like it's spelled.
I love that, actually.
Yeah. Sorry, Noreen. I love you. But it really is. It's all about, like I said a few minutes ago, it's kind of like you're driving a big ship, and you want to make sure that everybody that has their important parts of it are doing exactly what they need to do to help get that ship to where it needs to go. And that's why I'm with Landmark Title.
Yeah. And I've seen some deals recently, and these were multi-million-dollar deals that went elsewhere, and I had to take a step back and go, okay, I mean, I hope, and these were with agents that I know, and of course I want things to go smoothly for them. And I just had to say, okay, I hope, I'm very confident that this is going to go well for you, but you always get that in the back of your mind that if this was with Landmark Title, I know it would go well for you. And so having, like you said, having that confidence in the escrow officers, being able to hand it off and say, now I just need you to go do your thing and know that it's gonna get done. Yeah. Especially when we're, it's a very high price point like this. When we're talking about things going wrong, sometimes it's only a couple of $1,000s, or another week or something like that. But when we're talking about multi-million-dollar deals, a couple $1,000s sometimes can turn into tens of thousands of dollars. And so who you work with in this industry and who your industry partners are, it not only matters, at lower price points, but it just gets amplified as you move up into those higher price points. And we're so grateful that you trust us over here, Lisa. Do you think the real estate industry is going to stay strong this year and next? And why?
I do. And this is the number one question with buyers, sellers. Everyone is wondering. It's not like it was in 05 and 06 when you could walk in to a lender or financial institution and say, hey, I make X amount. Oh, okay, great. We'll give you X for a loan. The lending restrictions are incredibly more, they're just tighter. And our little area, our little community, Scottsdale, PV, surrounding areas, Phoenix, Gilbert, Mesa, Tempe, it used to be a little secret. It's no longer a secret. And in my professional opinion, I think that COVID did some terrible things to the world, but at the same time, it opened people's eyes to, okay, you can live anywhere you want. Why would why not Arizona? We have amazing weather. We don't have any natural disasters that are as devastating as a lot of places. Prices are still extremely reasonable considering, if you bought something here for $2 million, it would cost you probably $6 million in California somewhere, or New York, or whatever. And I just think that people, and more and more people are paying with cash. And people talk about the what happens when people who've lost their jobs go into foreclosure or what have you. That's definitely probably going to happen. Definitely, probably. That's kind of a
more or less.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I think that somebody is going to swoop in. They're going to see that. They're going to swoop in. They're going to pay cash and buy it and just turn around and rent it back to those people, or buy it and rent it to somebody else. So I think that our little valley is no longer a secret, and I think that people will continue to want to be here.
Yeah, this really is a great place to be in. And we still have just not just people moving here, but businesses moving here. Arizona is such a business friendly state.
Yeah.
And you know, without that changing, I think it's just going to be a great place for people to live, work, play, vacation. And we're just going to kind of keep going. We've got room. So
Yeah.
we'll
Not a lot,
welcome
but
them.
we do.
All right. And then how did it feel to close a $24 million priced home, which was the single largest residential resale transaction in Arizona?
How did it feel? I think I'm still, if I'm being honest, still a little not shocked, because it took us, myself and the other agent, 9 months to get there. And it was interesting to be a part of it, to see the different dynamics. It just goes to show that, again, you know, the same year, I think I mentioned this to you before, the same year I closed an $82,000 mobile home, and then I closed this. But the dynamics, although they're different, they're really not. They're, you know, you're dealing with people who can pay cash $24.1 million, and they wanted all the furniture work. They wanted all of it. It's just as important to them as that $82,000 mobile home, and the inspection, and the septic inspection. And so it was really, it was just, I'm beyond blessed and grateful to have been a part of that, to say that I could be a part of that and watch it and interact with people who, it was incredible.
Nice. It's real estate.
Mm-hmm.
I love the fact that,
well, and you know what,
mobile.
yes. So, but on a side note of that, I have to say that, you know, while we were dealing with this transaction, we were trying to figure out how to make it work. How it really came to the table is, I knew that these people wanted it. The agent knew that they wanted it, but there were, slowed things down a little bit and took that out of it. I finally went to my seller and I said, what is your absolute net bottom line? And he told me. And so I reached out to Noreen, and I think it was on a Saturday. And I said, I need a huge favor. Can you work up a preliminary settlement statement that shows and what the number needs to be if this is his absolute bottom net? So she did that for me, and I sent that. I scribbled it out on a piece of paper, and I texted it to the selling agent, and I said, this is the number. If it's going to work, this is the only way it's going to work. And she took it to them, and that's how we made it happen. And because there was the egos, you know, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah. I think in this industry, honestly, every real estate deal is exciting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The entire process, the negotiating, you know, the contracts, the inspections, seeing your buyer and seller's excitement, going through the process, because what you're doing is you're helping people with the biggest purchase or biggest sales of their lives, regardless if it's, you know, an $82,000 mobile home or a $24 million home. If for these people, these are large purchases, regardless of the price tag. And to see the excitement, I don't think it ever gets old in this industry.
No, not at all.
Not at all. Mm-hmm. All right. And then Lisa, we have a couple of questions.
Okay.
If we've got a few more minutes. You mentioned a business coach at the beginning. Would you be comfortable sharing who you use as a business coach?
Absolutely. And how I found her. So I had gone to New York to this probably 10 years ago to a networking group with a friend of mine who runs it. And he was talking about having a business coach. So I got home and I reached out to him and I said, hey, Patrick, who would you recommend? And I was expecting him to give me somebody in New York and somebody in, you know, all over the place. He gave me 3 names, and the first person, her name's Debbie Yost, and she was in Casa Grande. And then he gave me somebody else and somebody else. Well, I don't even know who number 2 and number 3 were, because I called Debbie, and you know, I'm like, well, she's in Arizona, so that's kind of a cool, fun thing. And we just hit it off, and she's not just a friend, she's a mentor, she's just, you know, it could be personal issues or challenges, it could be business, you know, goals, whatever it is. She knows how to help you and keep it within it. I do 30 minutes. You can do different, you know, an hour a month, whatever. I mean, whatever works with her. I do 30 minutes every 2 weeks. And even sometimes, like, she'll send me a call strategy a couple days ahead of time so that she knows what we're talking about. And sometimes I'll say, I don't know what we're going to be talking about, but I know that's going to change. You know, as soon as I hear your voice, I'm going to just go blah, 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 and that's what happens. I mean, she's awesome. I've had her for probably 8 or 9 years.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. And no matter what stage you're at in your real estate business, whether you're a new agent or an experienced agent or a veteran agent, coaching and mentoring in this industry is so important. This industry is a trade.
You know, and I would add to that, Sarah, in that I love to grow. Like, I've had so many people say, well, you closed that, why are you still working? Because I'm still working. I'm still young. I still love what I do. I still love the business. That's not my personality. I want to grow. If you stop growing, you stop living, in my opinion. And no matter what stage you are, what game of, you know, where you are in your life, no matter if it's what industry you're in or personal stuff, there's always room to grow. Always.
Always. And we are really, really lucky in our industry in that the sky's the limit. There's so many different facets of real estate. I was talking with an agent just last week, and he was saying he likes switching industries and doing different things every couple of years. He's got that entrepreneurial mindset. He likes to start up things and then go on to the next. And he's been loving doing real estate. And he's like, well, and he's reaching that 2-year mark. And I said, well, of course you should stay in real estate because there's so much you have not even done yet in real estate. So just because you're doing, you know, ABC today doesn't mean that by next year you might be doing XYZ. It's a fascinating and fun industry. But
It's
it
like
really,
when my client called me last, I don't know when it was, I think it was March or April, maybe June. And she said to me, she's, you know, she had called me and I said, you know, hi, Laura, how are you? And, oh, hey, Lisa, hey, have you ever sold a mobile home? And I thought to myself, okay, no. What do you got? What do you need? And I thought, okay, I've never sold a mobile home. So there's so many things to learn about that. Like, she owned the slab that the mobile home was on. So that gives it more value. And like, there was so many things that I learned just doing that. But yeah.
yeah, it's just a great industry for growth and challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Another question that we had, how many of your buyers this year were from out of state?
I would say 80%.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
And where were the majority of them? Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry.
I was just wondering where the majority of them were coming from.
I would say a lot of them are California, a lot of them Chicago or outskirts of Chicago. We're starting to see East Coast, New York, Florida, Pennsylvania, New Jersey. And you know, our locals, my local clientele, I have found that their big question is, well, if I sell, where do I go?
Mm.
So they just hold on to what they have, and it's the new people coming in.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, the megalopolis. I
Yes.
mean, we know California and we know Chicago, but that's really interesting to hear that it's the people from the East Coast now headed our way.
Yep.
Um, we've got two more questions if you've got a few more minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you spend any money on lead generation or marketing?
I don't spend any money on lead generation. Before I changed brokerages in December, I paid for all of my marketing, and I was spending quite a bit. Now the brokerage that I'm with handles all the marketing for us. But again, it really comes down to your relationships. It really, in my opinion, my business is all based on picking up the phone or texting or sending an email or someone referring me to somebody. And, you know, I had a client 2 days ago email me and say, hey, I have a client, his daughter is moving out here from Florida, and she wants to rent something. Are you interested? I said, I would absolutely love to help her. You know, rentals, a lot of people think rentals is just a waste of time. It is absolutely not a waste of time. Because if I take care of her and her rental needs, eventually someday she may buy, or if she's had a good enough experience, she's going to tell her parents, and they're going to tell so and so, and they're going to. So if you have an opportunity to do a rental, do it.
Absolutely. And then the last question, how important do you think an agent's website online presence is for the luxury market?
Incredibly important. People are, it's just like with property that you're trying to sell. I always say to my sellers, and just like I would to an agent, so many people shop online, whether it's for shoes, a real estate agent, a house, a car, whatever it is, they're Googling it. They're looking it up. They're surfing the internet to find that person. And so like for property, if you don't have professional photography done, I think that's crazy not to, because that is your first showing. Your first showing is online. So your first interview, so to speak, is online. So absolutely, you have to have a very good online presence.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and you know, our image in real estate, that's everything. That's the first thing that people are going to judge you by. And having an online presence, you know, we all do a Google search before we want to work with someone. And so having that online luxury, you know, buyers are going to be, and sellers, they're going to be doing the Google search too.
Yeah.
And so it's very important to still to let people know that you're out there and you're a good, strong working agent. I think that's what people want to see, regardless of the price point. So,
yeah.
Well, thank you, Lisa. That was really, really good. I'm excited about luxury real estate now, and I hope that everybody else, got some answers to their questions. And I do think that the luxury market it's always been here in Arizona, but I think it's getting better and better. And I think that agents are getting more confident to break into that market. It used to be just a very elite group of real estate agents that did luxury here in Arizona. And I see a lot more crossover now between lower price points, higher price points.
Can I add just one?
Yeah.
I just want to add one thing to leave everybody with, and that is real estate, especially in Arizona, it can be such a friendly competition. Be nice to each other. That's how you're going to learn. Be nice to each other. If you have questions about something, I'm the first person. If somebody had a question about something, text me or call me. I will talk to you for 5-10 minutes, whatever it is. Just be nice to each other. We're all in the same boat. We're all trying to do the same thing, which is hopefully take good care of our clients and have good reputations and set good examples.
That right there hits the nail on the head, Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
We do. We're a large city, but our real estate community is very tight knit, which is one of the beautiful things I think about being in the real estate industry here in Phoenix, is that it's a community. And I thank you for putting that out there and offering that. Do you have any other tips?
If you're really passionate about it, don't give up. Don't, if you get knocked down, get back up. And always, always, always do the right thing. And we all know what that means.
Yes. Lisa, this has been amazing. Thank you so much. It's great to have a rock star like you on here and really kind of just break it down and help everybody set these are attainable goals for everyone. Yeah. So I'm going to quickly go over a few of the other classes that we have coming up. We've got Market Insights tomorrow with Scott Kibbers. This is our monthly marketing stats, but it's not just marketing stats. It's a window into our market here in Arizona. And as we all know, it has been crazy. But what Lisa and I were talking about earlier is there's so much growth in this area. So we're actually going to bring on a special guest tomorrow. We're going to have Oleg from the brokery come on and talk about some of the growth in the area that he works, which is the Arizona Biltmore area. So you're going to want to get on there and not just see what our market is doing, but really understand what's the dynamic here in this. So if you'd like to get on, that's tomorrow morning at 9:30. And then we have a CE class coming up. This is also tomorrow. So this is a FHA and VA loans. This is 3 hours of legal issues. If you need legal issues, reach out. We can get you registered for that. And then we have our second mastermind for Realtor Mind Tricks. Yesterday was May the 4th, so May the 4th be with you. And we will be meeting in person for this. The Realtor Mind Tricks is building a brand ambassadors and basically continuing to build that referral-based business. So if you would like to attend in person, this is also available on Zoom. I think it's you get a little bit more out of it if you can meet in person. And this is at the Arrowhead Atrium, May 11th. That's next Tuesday at 10 a.m. And then 1031 exchanges. We're talking about out-of-state buyers. A lot of them are doing 1031 exchanges. So if you'd like to attend, this is going to be Tuesday, May 18th at 10 a.m. And we would love to have you. Melinda said, thank you. Thank you to everybody that was on. Of course, thank you to Lisa. Like I said, this was a wealth of information. And thank you, of course, to our business development management team. You guys are out there. You're making it happen for your clients. So if you all have any questions about today's presentation or marketing in general for your real estate business, you're just looking for someone to be your accountability partner and help you take it to that next level. That's one of the things that we love doing here at Landmark Title. So thank you to Beth, Becky, Melinda, Mary, Eric out of our Las Vegas office, Zach, Patty, Michael, and Jessica. Always wonderful. And of course, thank you to Landmark Title for allowing us to bring you the best information in real estate marketing every Wednesday at 10 a.m. We have 6 offices across the valley to service all of your real estate title and escrow needs. And like Lisa said, we're your partners. When you hand off your title and escrow to Landmark Title, you can rest assured that it's going to be done extremely well, and that your buyers, your sellers are going to be more than satisfied with their service. That's our main goal, is to make your job and your lives easier. And Lisa, thank you so much for coming on today. It really was a pleasure.
Thank you all. Thank you for having me.
All right, we will see you guys next week.